Imagine hearing that a team of Japanese physicians in their 90s are continuing to carry out surgeries, take on patients, and lead the lives of people half their age. These are not regular physicians. They are living proof of the very dietary habits they quietly upheld for decades. Dr. Shagyaki Hinahara lived to be 105 and worked till the last few days of his life. Dr. Heikichi Miyazaki became the world's oldest competitive sprinter at the age of 105. They all have one unexpected characteristic in common. It is not genetics. It is not expensive supplements. It is a different way of eating that contradicts everything we know about healthy aging. When researchers at Tokyo Medical University examined 847 Japanese centenarians, they found something that made them question what they thought they knew about longevity. These people were not consuming exotic superfoods. They were not chasing the latest diet fads. Instead, they were doing something incredibly simple that most of us completely overlook. And here's the part that will truly amaze you. The all-crucial secret that these doctors uncovered has very little to do with the actual foods you consume. It is about what your body is doing when you eat in a certain manner. Scientific research indicates that this can lengthen your lifespan by as much as 40%. But 95% of individuals unwittingly do the complete opposite each and every day. Before we go further, mention your age and where you are in the comments below. We read and respond to all of them. Now, let's get started. Number 7. The temperature secret that revolutionizes everything. For many decades, Japanese physicians researching longevity have seen something remarkable that Western medicine only recently began to notice. The temperature of food is more important than you ever knew. Dr. Makoto Suzuki, who spent more than 40 years researching Okinawan centenarians, found that the individuals who ate and drank warm food and liquids throughout the day had much healthier digestive systems and much lower markers of inflammation. Here is what really goes on in your body. When you eat cold food, your stomach must expend more energy to heat up everything to body temperature. This takes a lot of energy that would otherwise be spent on cellular repair and immune defense. A 15-year study at Kyoto University monitored 1,200 adults, individuals who consumed warm water on waking, and with food witnessed 32% fewer stomach upsets and 28% reduced instances of chronic constipation. Consider your belly as a pot being heated on a stove. If you continuously add cold ingredients, the process of cooking retards. Digestion is no different. Cold foods and liquids slow down nutrient breakdown, rendering it less effective at being absorbed. Traditional Japanese medicine has stressed this for centuries. They practice the principle of harahachibu, which not only involves how much you consume, but how you consume it. Warm meals, or room temperature, save what they refer to as the digestive fire, and not mystical belief. Contemporary science indicates that digestive enzymes are most effective at body temperature. Consuming ice, cold drinks with meals, may slow down enzyme function by as much as 40%. The Japanese remedy is subtly simple. Start your day with warm water or tea, pleasantly warm, not boiling. At mealtimes, they have warm miso soup or tea instead of cold water. Even during the summer months, they steer clear of very cold foods just before and at mealtime. It doesn't mean you can't ever eat cold foods, but just be mindful of timing. Japanese physicians advise waiting a minimum of 30 minutes after eating to eat anything cold, giving your stomach an opportunity to function unhampered. To get the most benefit, keep warm water your go-to drink. Have a thermos handy and put a slice of lemon in for taste, if you prefer. Your digestive system will appreciate it, and within a few days you might notice reduced bloating and more energy. Now, let's switch to another interesting fact about when you eat. Number 6. The window of opportunity you might be missing. Japanese centenarian physicians also have a dining routine that seems so basic it can't possibly be that strong, but science confirms it is one of the greatest habits for longevity that has ever been recorded. They eat all their meals within a 10 to 12-hour period every day. No big deal, right? But here is the catch. Dr. Yoshinori Nagumo, a renowned Japanese surgeon and specialist in longevity, found that this natural cycle stimulates a process referred to as autophagy. This is your body's own cleaning process, operating as a recycling facility for your cells. Degenerate and junk parts are dismantled and reassembled into new, good parts. In the year 2016, a Nobel Prize in Medicine was given for work on autophagy. But Japanese physicians had been putting this principle into practice for generations without ever even referring to it by that term. When you take a break overnight of 12 to 14 hours for your digestive system, autophagy goes into overdrive. At the University of Tokyo, researchers monitored 2,000 adults for 10 years. The individuals who maintained a consistent 12-hour fasting period had 43% lower instances of metabolic syndrome and 37% lower inflammation levels. Now, this is where most people go wrong. This is not about skipping meals or starving yourself. Japanese centenarians also eat plenty and well, but within a disciplined period. Their usual pace is as follows: breakfast at 7 in the morning, lunch at noon, and supper by 7 at night. Then nothing but water or tea until the next morning's breakfast. This discipline allows the body about 14 hours of recovery, rejuvenation, and removal of cellular waste. Over the course of this period, insulin levels level out, growth hormone secretion increases, and the brain releases additional BDNF, a protein that shields neurons and enhances memory. Researchers with the Okinawa Centenarian study discovered that those who followed this regimen had 60% lower dementia rates than those who snacked frequently late at night. The key is regularity, not flawlessness. Select a window of eating that is convenient to your life and adhere to it on most occasions. If your existing pattern of eating is from 6 in the morning to 10 at night, do not abruptly narrow it to an 8-hour window. Rather, shift your latest meal half an hour earlier each week until your body adapts slowly. For the evening meal, have it satisfying but not heavy. Add protein, healthy fat, and complex carbohydrates to prevent night hunger without weighing on digestion. Much of what Japanese physicians eat for dinner is a light repast of fish, rice, vegetables, and miso soup, sufficient to feed without overloading pipeline. The improvements are gradual but perceptible. In a few weeks' time, individuals tend to sleep more soundly, feel more energetic in the morning, and think more clearly. And that leads us to what you eat. The second secret is a very particular combination that works nearly like medicine within the body. Before we continue though, if you have been enjoying this video up to now, press the like button so that others can also gain from it. And subscribe. We post strong senior health advice every single day, and you won't want to miss what is ahead. Number 5. The 5-color medicine technique. Dr. Setsu Yamada, in research on why some Japanese villages had cancer incidence 70% lower than the national average, found something interesting. These villages regularly consumed foods from 5 color categories on a daily basis, not as an intentional health regimen, but merely as a long-standing cultural tradition. This isn't about making your plate pretty. Every color has special phytonutrients that play off each other in ways science barely knows yet. Red foods, like tomatoes, red peppers, and strawberries, have lycopene and anthocyanins, which guard the heart and reduce inflammation. A study by Harvard on 47,000 men found that those who consumed red foods every day had a 39% reduced stroke risk. Orange and yellow vegetables, such as carrots, sweet potatoes, winter squash, and oranges, are high in beta-carotene and flavonoids, which build immunity and protect vision. In a study conducted at Johns Hopkins, individuals with adequate beta-carotene intake experienced a 56% lower risk of cognitive impairment. Green foods, such as spinach, broccoli, green tea, and seaweed, offer chlorophyll and folate, which support detoxification and DNA repair. A Japanese study of 40,000 adults discovered that daily consumption of green vegetables resulted in 45% lower stomach cancer rates. White foods like mushrooms, onions, and garlic have beta-glucans and allicin that increase immunity and exhibit powerful anti-cancer properties. The IG Cancer Center Research Institute discovered that individuals who consumed white vegetables on a daily basis had 34% less cancer mortality. Purple and blue foods, such as eggplant, purple cabbage, and blueberries, contain anthocyanins and resveratrol, which shield the brain and decelerate cellular aging. UCLA researchers found that anthocyanins can slow down brain aging by up to 2.5 years. What makes this technique most effective is the way that the colors complement each other. Vitamin C found in red peppers increases absorption of iron from green leafy foods. Healthy fats in avocados facilitate absorption of carotenoids in orange foods. It is like a perfectly harmonized symphony within your body. Japanese centenarians don't weigh colors and measure portions carefully. They just add variety to every meal. A typical lunch could include white rice, green seaweed salad, orange carrot miso soup, purple pickled vegetables, and red fresh tomatoes. Easy, spotty, and deeply effective. To reap the best benefits, try to incorporate at least one food item from each color category daily. Fresh is best, but frozen is okay too. Variety and consistency are key, not absolute perfection. An easy way to begin is by incorporating one new color into the foods you already like. In a few days, your body will start to notice the difference in energy and vitality. Now we get even more interesting with the next secret regarding portion control. Number 4. The 80% rule that adds years to your life. Harahachi-bo. These 3 words might be the most potent longevity practice ever discovered. It means eat until you are 80% full, and it is a widespread custom in Okinawa, the island where some of the longest-lived people on the planet reside. But this is what contemporary science finally established. The practice not only avoids overeating, but sets off profound biological reactions that slow aging at the cellular level. Dr. Bradley Wilcox, director of the Okinawa Centenarian study, discovered that individuals on the Harahachi-bu diet eat about 1,800 to 1,900 calories per Dalton Y, as opposed to the 2,500 to 3,000 calories for the average American. This subtle reduction in calories, without inducing malnutrition, turns on special longevity genes called sirtuins. These genes control cellular well-being, inflammation, and aging. Research from Washington University revealed that people practicing modest calorie restriction had hearts that appeared 15 years younger on medical scans. They also showed lower blood pressure, healthier cholesterol levels, and almost no inflammation markers. And here's the best part. You do not need to count calories or weigh your food. By stopping at 80% full, you naturally create the ideal caloric balance for long-term health. So how do you know you are 80% full? Japanese physicians suggest a straightforward strategy: eat slowly and pay attention to your body. When you are no longer hungry but can eat more, albeit reluctantly, stop. You want to be satisfied but not light-headed or bloated. The brain takes approximately 20 minutes to register fully, yet most individuals consume food so hastily they go past this point unbeknownst to them. A research at Kyushu University discovered that quick eaters were 3 times more likely to be overweight and had twice the risk of metabolic syndrome. To prevent this, Okinawan older people practice simple habits. They place their chopsticks or forks on the side between bites. They chew each mouthful 20 to 30 times. Although this might seem excessive, it breaks down food well for improved nutrient uptake, slows the eating rate, and assists you in stopping naturally at 80% full due to your brain catching up. Another useful trick is employing smaller bowls and plates. Okinawans traditionally eat from plates 9 inches in diameter, as opposed to the usual American 12-inch plate. A Cornell University study demonstrated that individuals dining off smaller plates involuntarily ate 22% less food without perceiving themselves as deprived. The long-term effects are striking. Individuals who practice Harahachi-bu have 70% lower incidence of heart disease, 50% lower incidence of cancer, and live 7 years longer on average compared to individuals who overeat regularly. Energy levels increase due to the fact that the body is not perpetually weighed down with cumbersome digestion. Mental focus improves due to the fact that blood supply is not constantly being redirected to the stomach. To test it for yourself, start with a single meal tomorrow. Eat slowly. Pause when you believe you might eat more but don't have to. Then wait 20 minutes. More likely than not, you will feel completely satisfied. Now let's consider the second secret, and something that most people shun, but absolutely need not. Number 3. The fermentation factor. In Japanese cuisine, every meal contains fermented foods, and there is a shocking reason why. Dr. Satoshi Sasaki of Tokyo University discovered that Japanese centenarians possess gut microbiomes entirely different from those of typical adults. They exhibit greater bacterial diversity, more beneficial microbes, and fewer inflammatory bacteria. The secret is their daily consumption of fermented foods, which work like super medicine for the gut. Miso, natto, pickled vegetables, and fish fermented foods are not condiments. They are probiotic foods that reorganize the whole internal ecosystem. While scientists examined the gut bacteria of 1,000 Japanese centenarians, they found something remarkable. These centenarians had gut bacteria that produced short-chain fatty acids 3 times the normal rate. These fatty acids suppress inflammation, enhance immune function, and guard against cancer. A specific strain, known as Lactobacillus pentosus, was found in 90% of the centenarians, but in just 30% of the younger adults. What does eating fermented foods daily do to you? The good bacteria start moving into your gut and producing substances that your body can't produce by itself. These are vitamin K2 for healthy bones, B vitamins for energy, neurotransmitters like GABA for mood stability and sound sleep, and antimicrobial agents that battle bad bacteria. A 2-decade study in Tokyo by the National Cancer Center monitored 90,000 subjects. Those who used fermented soy products on a daily basis had a 27% decrease in risk of stroke and an 18% decrease in the risk of heart disease. In women, those who used natto on a regular basis had 50% fewer osteoporosis cases. But here is the most surprising part. Fermented foods bacteria actually talk to your brain via the vagus nerve. This gut-brain axis affects everything from mood to memory. Japanese scientists found that individuals who consumed fermented foods every day had 40% reduced levels of depression and anxiety. The secret lies in both variety and consistency. Different fermented foods introduce different bacterial strains. Miso provides Aspergillus oryzae, natto contains Bacillus subtilis, and pickled vegetables supply Lactobacillus plantarum. Each strain has its own benefits, and together they work more effectively than they do alone. If you are a beginner with fermented foods, begin gradually. 1 tablespoon of dissolved miso in hot water makes a fast probiotic broth. Enjoy a small serving of pickled vegetables with lunch, or a few bites of sauerkraut at dinner. Your gut takes some time to adjust to new microbes, so raise amounts slowly over several weeks. Quality matters. Use unpasteurized, naturally fermented foods, because pasteurization kills the helpful bacteria. Watch out for most commercially available pickles, which are usually simply vegetables soaked in vinegar, and not really fermented foods. Always read labels carefully, or experiment at home. It is simpler than most people imagine. Within a couple of weeks of incorporating fermented foods into their daily diet, most individuals notice smoother digestion, clearer complexion, better mood, and more stable energy. Imagine your gut microbes as a garden. Treat it well, and it will take care of you forever. Now, let's shift to something even more potent. Something most people unwittingly get wrong every single day. Number 2. The sequence solution. Japan's longevity doctors have identified a habit so easy yet so powerful that it can lower blood sugar spikes by 42% and lengthen your lifespan. The magic is not in what you are eating, it is in what order you eat it. Osaka Prefecture University's Dr. Toshimasa Takanaga revealed that consuming foods in a specific order significantly alters the way your body absorbs nutrients and regulates blood sugar levels. That impact isn't trivial. It can be as strong as diabetics' medication. That is the order. Vegetables first, protein second, carbs last. That is all. But the physiology is impressive. If you start with vegetables, the fiber creates a shielding effect in the small intestine. This delays the absorption of sugars and fats from subsequent foods. So the blood sugar rises at a slow curve instead of a quick spike. Insulin stays level instead of crazy. A trial with 2,500 Japanese adults who had prediabetes found that 68% reversed the condition simply by eating in this order, without changing their diets any other way. Protein is second, as it triggers the release of GLP-1, a hormone that delays stomach emptying and enhances insulin sensitivity. When carbohydrates are finally on the scene, the body is already set up to utilize them efficiently. The rice or bread, which otherwise causes blood sugar to rocket, is absorbed slowly and steadily. Scientists at Weill Cornell Medical College validated these findings in Western populations. Subjects who consumed the vegetable protein-carb sequence had 54% lower glucose spikes and 40% lower insulin spikes than subjects who consumed the foods in a random order. This approach also curbs overall how much you consume. Protein and fiber give you signals of being full before you even get to the carbohydrates. That is why Japanese centenarians tend to consume only around half the quantity of rice younger adults do, not because they are limiting themselves, but because they feel full before they complete large plates. The long-term consequences are deep. Keeping blood sugar steady avoids glycation, a cell-damaging process in which sugar molecules bind to and destroy proteins in the body. This cell-damaging process, known as glycation, is a primary force behind aging. Individuals who control steady blood sugar age younger at the cellular level, have a sharper mind, and enjoy longer life. So how do you apply this today? At your next meal, eat all of your vegetables first, every bite. Then move on to your protein. Finally, enjoy your carbohydrates. Avoid mixing everything together. Keep the foods separate and eat them in this order. It may feel unusual at first, but it quickly becomes natural. Eating out makes this simple. At a restaurant, finish your salad completely before touching anything else. At home, serve vegetables as the first course. Traditional Japanese meals naturally follow this pattern, with small vegetable dishes called kobachi served before the main course. The impact is felt almost instantly. In as few as 3 days of adhering to this order, most individuals can spot fewer energy crashes, decreased cravings, and clearer mental cognition. With time, the routine becomes second nature, and your body pays you back with consistent energy and better health metrics across the board. And now, the highlight you've been waiting for. The number one secret that transforms everything entirely. Number 1. The morning routine that adds decades to life. This is the most potent practice Japanese physicians claim can add as many as 20 years to the human lifespan. It is not a supplement, nor a food, but a morning routine 96% of Japanese centenarians adhere to diligently, drinking a precise quantity of warm water the moment upon waking, before eating anything else. But this ceremony isn't all about quenching. Dr. Hiroshi Yamashita of Nagoya University discovered that this small task initiates a series of biological reactions that clean and reboot the whole body. Here is what goes on during sleep. Your body goes into repair mode, filtering toxins, regenerating cells, and creating metabolic waste. Having 640 milliliters of warm water upon waking assists in flushing out this waste via the kidneys and intestines. That is just the start. Sipping water when your stomach is empty triggers the gastrocolic reflex, which gets bowel activity going and keeps toxins from being absorbed into the system. It also speeds up metabolism by as much as 24% for the next 90 minutes. Brain blood flow increases, improving mental acuity and alertness. Better than coffee temperature matters. Slightly warmer water or body temperature water is absorbed quicker than cold water. It doesn't shock your system. Rather, it very softly awakens your organs and gets everything running like a well-oiled machine. Japanese research found that individuals who consumed warm water each morning had 73% fewer kidney stones, 61% fewer urinary tract infections, and 48% fewer instances of constipation. The Nagoya University study tracked 5,000 adults over 2 decades. Those who practiced the daily morning warm water routine regularly had a 37% lower all-cause death rate. They experienced fewer heart attacks, strokes, and cancers. They aged less quickly and maintained their cognitive function for longer. The volume does make a difference. Under 500 milliliters doesn't have the full impact, and over 800 milliliters is too much for some individuals. The best balance is 640 milliliters, 2.5 cups, taken within 5 minutes of waking. Here is the precise technique. Have a thermos of lukewarm water available next to your bed, or warm it up as soon as you get up. The water must be warm enough to drink rapidly but not too hot. Drink the entire amount in minutes, not gradually during an hour. Next, wait 45 minutes before consuming breakfast. This allows the water to work without interference. Others are concerned about bloating or constant trips to the bathroom. These typically persist for only a few days as the body acclimates. If needed, start at 400 milliliters and gradually increase to 640 milliliters over a week. Your bladder will get used to it eventually, and constant urination will cease. The change is astonishing. Within a week, most individuals have clearer skin. Energy is greatly increased. Digestion is smooth and regular. Mental confusion clears. Chronic health conditions usually get better or disappear. One example from the Nagoya study is a 70-year-old woman who had constant arthritis. She experienced a 90% decrease in joint pain after 3 months of following this ritual. Another subject reversed prediabetes without changing anything else in her life. For Japanese physicians who live past 100, this ritual is a must. They've done it for so long it is second nature, just like breathing, and now you know their secret. Together, these 7 habits create a system that interacts synergistically. The morning water ritual primes your body. The sequence of eating maximizes nutrient uptake. Fermented foods feed your gut microbiome. The 80% rule avoids overloading. The 5 colors provide balanced nutrition. The eating window provides time for cellular repair. Warm foods safeguard digestion. Together, these customs build a lifestyle that does more than lengthen your years. It adds life to your years. They just know something that we're just now learning. Small, incremental daily habits snowball into remarkable longevity. You don't require expensive supplements or radical diets. You require enduring habits that work with your body's natural functions, not against them. Start with just one practice tomorrow. Add another next week. Within a few months, you'll see why these doctors believe aging is optional. Your body is capable of thriving well past 100. You simply need to provide the right conditions. Now we want to hear from you. Which of these 7 secrets surprised you the most, and which one are you going to try tomorrow morning? Share your comments and experiences below. We love hearing from you. Thanks for watching.